Hey, welcome back. It's Split Decision. Derek Richards here, Dean Napolitano in St. Petersburg, Florida. I am here in Detroit, Michigan. Good to see you again, as always, my friend.
Same here, buddy.
Last episode was fun.
Yeah, it was.
That was a good time. We got some fun comments we'll get to on those here in just a second. But where can people find your glorious ass?
Easiest way to find everything is DenoLive.com, DEANO Live.com. That's my website. Got everything on it. All the socials, YouTube, everything. So check it out.
Nice. And I'm at DerekRichards.com. All my social media stuff is on there as well. I'm on X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and I think that's it. YouTube, of course, YouTube, where all these episodes are found. Please like, subscribe, and share. And please comment down below. Ask us questions. Again, the premise behind the show is it's 4 questions, 2 opinions, 60 seconds for each of us to state our case. And then you guys go ahead and vote down below. Make a comment about whatever we said. Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it's stupid. Most of the time it's stupid. Not going to lie to you. But also, too, if you have questions that you want to ask that we can ask on the show, that makes it that much more fun because you're involved. And it's got to be a question that we can both take a stance on. That makes it much more fun. And you had a comment that you were telling, we were cracking up before we started taping.
Yeah.
A comment on the last episode.
Yeah, the contractor one about the 50 grand. Do you tell the owner? Yeah. Tony Staten Island. I didn't see shit. Sounds about right.
That could be the most Staten Island thing somebody could have possibly said.
Yeah. My dad would be like that.
Oh God, I love that. This was this was funny. This was on the shopping cart one. Dave G on Facebook said, now I thought he was going to get pissed. He said, my grandfather works at Walmart and wrangles the shopping carts every single day. He loves it when nobody puts him in the cart corral because he hates his coworkers and he can go out there and smoke as long as he wants. I like that.
Well,
then, so yes, I'm not a complete douchebag from one guy. A lot of other people did not feel the same way. And then
Grandpa shouldn't be smoking or working at Walmart.
What's that?
I said, Grandpa shouldn't be smoking or working at Walmart. Come on.
Listen, if he's at Walmart, he's already on the, you're on the 18th green. You're wrapping it up here pretty soon. You might as well go ahead and have a cigarette and enhance your COPD. Who gives a shit at this point?
Yeah, good point.
I'm a horrible human. Michael74 on X was talking about the swingers parties, and he said you should absolutely say something if you found out that your significant other was involved in swingers parties because you don't know if they caught something. Now, my question would be, if you've been married for 3 years, I mean, what's the gestation period on chlamydia?
You tell me.
You are such a piece of shit. Listen, that would have been, if Fauci answered that question without pleading the fifth, I would have watched that testimony. It would have been way more entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, get some real answers on the STDs. Sounds fun.
That's what we need to. That's what we need to know. COVID's over and done. That's so passé. Now let's work on the current issues that affect us each and every day
in society.
Good decision. Again, please like, subscribe, and share. We would greatly appreciate your comments and your feedback.
Let's get
question
to it.
Number 1 here today. Dean, you got this one here. This is
okay.
This is a good one. Go for it.
It's a good one. It's everybody's probably had this. Joe in LaGrange, Indiana. You get invited to a friend's house for dinner, and the meal is virtually unedible. Do you say anything?
I'm gonna say no. I say you don't say something. You just sit there and deal with it. Your friends were nice enough to invite you over to come to the house and have a meal with them. If they cook like shit, they cook like shit. Now, if they're eating it and they're really enjoying it, and this is some fantastic family recipe that's been around for 1,000 years, and grandma made this shitty meatloaf for grandpa, and your mom made the shitty meatloaf, and everybody ate it all the time, and nobody said something, who might have come in there and ruin and be disrespectful to somebody at their house? All you can do is hope that your significant other, whether it's your friend or whoever is with you at the meal, says something hilarious when you have a big mouthful of stuff and you have no choice but to spit it out. That's one less thing that you have to swallow. So I say say nothing. You got invited. Appreciate the invite. Enjoy the cocktails. Enjoy the company, and just kind of pick your way through the meal, because you can also navigate your way around that too. You can kind of cut things and move them around and slide it here,
Yeah.
move it there,
All right.
and be a little bit creative with it. But I say shut your pie hole. Enjoy the meal.
All right. I say it's not like when you see an ugly baby, you don't say nothing. You just kind of walk away and be like, oh. If it's food that's going in your body, you have every right to be like, yeah, is there, I would be like, is there something, I would find something I'm allergic to that I couldn't eat that meal. Because I'm not shoveling down a meal in my 50s to make somebody feel good who's a shitty, you're a shitty cook. Okay. People that don't cook good know they suck. My thing is, if it's a great meal, if you're having lasagna and you think it's delicious, you're going to say, wow, this is one of the best lasagnas I've ever had. You outdid yourself. It's amazing. But if you're eating something with an ingredient, you got to say, my own mother made sauerbraten one year, and my dad went to put flour in it, but it was a cup of soap from downstairs in the basement, because when we ran out of detergent soap for the sink, he would go get Tide. And then he dumped the soap in the sauerbraten. And I never had it before, and I took a bite, and my mother's like, what? I go, it tastes like soap. And she got mad. And then everyone said, yeah, everyone was eating it. And they all knew it tasted like soap. It was incredible until I said something. And I was little. And then we all remember it.
Oh, your dad and his secret ingredient with the soap and the sauerbraten.
He thought it was flour. He got up, he walks over, he goes, oops, I thought this was the flour, but apparently it's Tide detergent powder.
That's funny. Oh my God.
Can't make
Did you
that
end up
up.
getting sick?
No, but I spit it out. Everybody else was like, yeah. So nobody ate it. My mom was like, she was so disappointed because it was a good, sauerbraten's good. And I don't know. You got to say something.
Did you tell your dad, hey, I'm allergic to the detergent?
No, we just said we probably shouldn't eat soap, Pop. He's like, oops.
All right. What would you do? You, the audience, would you go ahead and tell somebody, or would you just go ahead and keep this thing to yourself? Go ahead and put in the comments down below. Question number 2. Oh, this one's this is a good one. This is from Bill in Madeira Beach, Florida. Says, you're at the beach and catch your significant other looking at someone. Could be a male or a female situation. Do you say something? Dean, 60 seconds. You are on the clock. Go.
I mean, people look around. I'm not, you're at the beach. People are half naked. There's good bodies, bad bodies. You might be looking at something like you're like, whoa, look at the freaking toes on that guy. Or look at that. You're not just looking at, ass and boobs or peen. You know what I mean? You're looking at the whole body is there. You ever go to the beach, you see a dude with huge nipples. It takes you back for a second, I'm not that I'm looking at guys' nipples, but something catches your eye. It's hard to look away, and you got to take a few minutes. You can't, because you just try to figure it out. So yeah, I think you go ahead and look, and I will not say nothing.
See, I would say something if they're like literally eye fucking them for like 15-20 seconds. And if and you can tell, if you pick your head up and you look and something's a train wreck, you're going to go ahead and look at it yourself and go, I can't believe that this is happening. But if someone's going up there and they're looking at some, I'm with my girlfriend and she's looking at some dude walking by and she's, the look. I mean, we're not stupid, but if you're looking at him for if you're making eye contact or even looking at something for longer than at least 6, 7, 8, 10 seconds, then you go ahead and say something. Or if something is a train wreck, go ahead and tell your partner, say, hey, get a load of this. Otherwise, I think it's, for me, I think it's disrespectful to sit there and, eye bang somebody for an extended period of time as they're walking by. And now in this day and age, too, you don't want somebody turning around and looking and catching you gawking, because now you're going to be some creepo.
Well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, if someone's walking on the beach along and you kind of just, follow them, whatever. But if you're doing a 360, yeah, you got a point. If someone's but come on, this is like, grow up.
Now, I'll say this. I was working a cruise ship one time in St. Martin, and the girl that I was dating at the time, we were sitting there on the beach, and it's a nude beach.
Yeah.
And so we're just laying there, and I mean, I had my, my trunks on and everything. I mean, I got 3 inches of Irish happiness down there. Nobody wants to see that.
Yeah.
Why do I want to ruin people's vacations? And so I'm sitting there and we're both laying there, and this guy comes walking by, and she goes, "Whatever you do," and I had my eyes closed. I was laying there under a little cabana thing. And she goes, "Whatever you do, do not open your eyes now." So, of course, what am I going to do? I open my
I'm
eyes,
looking.
and this guy was not in fantastic shape at all, but he literally had enough hair for like a scrunchie, but he took the hair scrunchie and he had it wrapped around the base of his junk and his balls. So his balls were kind of squirting out like a couple of avocados in netting. And I could not stop laughing. It was one of the funniest damn things that I'd ever seen.
That would be the
And
hardest.
like in that case, again, we're talking it's like 13 years ago. I mean, listen, I give you a hall pass. You want to look at that? That is an absolute disaster. You should absolutely stare at that.
That's what I wouldn't stare at. I'd look at that one time and I go, I can't ever look at that. I
I had to
can't.
stare because I couldn't believe what I was looking
Yeah.
at.
Then they arrested you for jerking off on your beach towel, right?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, I'm the bad guy because I finish. All right.
Not good.
All right, here we go. Question number 3. This is for you, Dean.
Oh, this is me saying to you, right? Oh,
yes,
wait.
sir.
Yeah. Question number 3. Dan from Scranton, PA. You spot a prominent athlete in public or at a bar, and he's not with his partner. Do you say something or just mind your business?
I say go ahead and record it, say something, make a scene. If you're at a bar, there's alcohol being served, you're knocking back shots of Jameson or whatever you're doing, tequila, and you see somebody walking by like a Barry Bonds and he's not with his wife, he's with some other skank, go ahead and make a scene. Get your viral video. Go ahead, put it on TikTok. Who gives a shit? Get that Harvey douchebag on TMZ to go ahead and share your video with that other knucklehead crew that he works with over there. I think it's hysterical. Especially now, I would say too, the only caveat to that would be if the athlete was a jackass. If it was one of my favorite athletes, I don't know, maybe he's with his sister. So
True.
I'm like, there's that option too. But I would say, you know what? Go ahead. Get your video, make a scene, be a douchebag. Who cares?
I say mind your business. I mean, I don't condone any of that. I'm not for people doing that. But again, you don't know the whole situation. I know I've been out with other people, women or actress or comedian friend, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're banging them," and I'm like, "No," but I remember being married and having that. And then, if it's a friend, yeah, you tell your friends, "Hey, you got to get rid of her or him." But I think in a situation like that, it's a public figure, but who gives it? I don't care. Like mind your own business. I heard that since I was 4, growing up in Long Island. Hey, mind your business. I mean, people, you stare at someone, it could end up bad, especially if you're drinking.
Everything that I do ends up bad because I'm drinking. So I'm
It
like, this is just
definitely.
another great story to tell. So for me, I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm like, if you're the one who's the creepo who's screwing around on your wife or your girlfriend, then
I agree. Definitely a creepo, but
listen, I just want views. I just want views and likes on my Instagram page. That's all.
such a whore. What a whore.
I don't care about your life. You're making $10 million a year. You went to arbitration. You got more money than you deserved. Suck it.
Dirty
Fuck that
whore.
guy. All right.
Fuck that guy. All right, what do we got? Last
question here. This one's interesting. Okay, this because we both had situations involving this happening, but this comes from Zach in Las Vegas. It says, if you found out that a friend went in your medicine cabinet and took some medication, would you say something? You find out a friend went into your medicine cabinet and took some medication. Would you say something? Dean, 60 seconds. You are on the clock. Go.
I did have this happen to me, and the person confessed it to me next time they came to my house. I said something to that person that I wasn't particularly fond of going through my stuff. I didn't even know I had these things because it was from a knee injury, and I can't take that kind of, oxy, whatever the hell it is. And you say something, me personally, I'm not going to out the guy to the whole circle of friends or people we knew or gossip about it. I told my wife at the time, but it was weird. But no, obviously the person has an addiction, and you hope they get help. I don't want to make a problem worse or get him, because a lot of shit can happen with that. You're not supposed to take people's meds. So yeah, you say something to him, but not to anybody else. I don't think it's necessary.
See, I would say don't say anything to him, but I tell everybody else. I don't give a shit. Like, you know what? Here's the thing. I had a situation where a guy was staying at my house, and he wasn't a great friend. We just happened to be working together on some stuff, and he stayed at my place for a couple of nights. He ended up going into the medicine cabinet, and he took some Xanax that my ex-wife was taking at the time.
Unbelievable.
And so I didn't, she noticed it, and then she said something to me, and I'm like, I don't take Xanax. I just wasn't my thing. And so, come to find out, like, he had taken like maybe 5 or 6 pills, and because she was taking like a very small dose, she was taking the pill and then slicing it into quarters, and it was like 2 milligrams or whatever it was. So she was taking a very small amount, and he grabbed like 5 or 6 over the course of that short period of time that we were there. Now, I never said anything to him. I never invited him back to stay at my house, nor would I let him. But yeah, there was at least a good half a dozen people that I'm like, you're not going to believe what this douchebag did.
So you're telling everyone, all right?
Yeah, exactly. What pissed me off is I was going to sell some of that. Now, in hindsight, if I could have sold that on the street, I could have made some money.
Yeah, now.
Right now, that would have been great.
So I say no, you say yeah. All right. You know what's funny is I know people, I don't know if you do, that they tell me that they look in people's medicine cabinets. I'm like, why would you do that?
What?
Yeah. I mean, this is a thing. Certain people have this thing where they have to see what's in there. I'm like, first of all, if you're taking something that you don't put it in the regular cabinet, Mitchell Walters, I think, was the comedian, had this bit where he goes, you want to have some fun when you have guests over? You get a whole box of ping pong balls, you put them in there, and you shut the cabinet, right? So somebody opens up the cabinet, 100 ping pong balls come out of the medicine cabinet. So they're going to be scared. And then he goes, yes, the best part is, a month later, they're going to be sitting at their dining room table still going, well, what do you think he does with all those ping pong balls? I think it was Mitchell Walters, the comedian, and Sam Kinison guys and all that, but it was the funniest shit.
I remember that bit. That was classic. I'll say this too. Here's the thing. If you're going to go ahead and go in somebody's medicine cabinet and take their medication, you need to make sure that medication is the medication that's in that bottle, because my grandmother she knew the colors of the meds that she was taking.
Right.
And she would just mix them together.
Oh, so she
had like 3 or 4 different pills, like in one container. So one was for, cholesterol, one was for diabetes, one was for her heart. And I'm like, obviously no one's going to be digging in and trying to take, some heart medication. I can't imagine that would be an issue. But, if you go ahead and start mixing OxyContin and you throw in some Viagra and a few other things, it's like, that's a party.
It's something. It's a very non-depressed penis after that.
Non-depressed penis, which again sounds like that's a great band name.
Yeah, non-depressed penis.
I would go see non-depressed penis though, opening up for somebody like Metallica or Kiss.
Yeah. What the hell, All
right. Funny. Split Decision, Dean Napolitano. Where can people find you once again?
Once again, DeanoLive.com, DEANO Live.com. All my socials, YouTube, Caregiver Comedy Specials on the YouTube. So check it out.
Yeah, DerekRichards.com is my website. Also, the Irish Comedy Tour One for the Road documentary is also on YouTube. Go ahead and take a look at that. Please, please, please like, subscribe, and share. And if you got comments, put them down below. If you got questions, even better, stick those down below. We'll read them on the air. And it's just a great time to involve you, the amazing audience. Thank you so much for being here. Dean, you're amazing, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.